party, the PDP. It is not Uhuru yet for the party. Confusion still continues as we hear the second faction, the faction that belongs to Nyesom Wike, is planning their own convention, and the Turaki-led faction, where Governor Makinde of Oyo State belongs, is saying they don't know what they are doing. They are joking. They are playing. Wike is mocking his own party, the People's Democratic Party. He says they don't know what they are doing there. They are a bunch of confused people. While the other guys too are saying Wike and his allies need to apologize to the party, but they've caused so much problems to the party. So you get to hear today, you hear from Wike how he's talking tough about his party, how he's going to be reclaiming the party from the people he called plenty unprintable names. I wouldn't want to call that name right now. On the other hand, the second faction belonging to Turaki-led members said Wike and his allies need to apologize to the party. And on the issue concerning the chairmanship position of the party, which he belongs to right now, talking about Taminu Turaki, Taminu Turaki is saying all of those people who are saying they are still aggrieved after the convention in Ibadan. They are not being fair and they are enemies of progress. And he said he duly contested as he's supposed to be and he won the election. You will hear from him. We also speak about the issue that happened at the Wadata Plaza where tear gas were thrown freely and we were all running helter-skelter. You get to hear that and much more. Everyone has been talking about the issue, what Nigeria has been able to do in Benin Republic. And yesterday, at the floor of the Senate, the senators deliberated on the letter brought to the Senate by the president to deploy troops to the Benin Republic, and it's been approved by the Senate. And right now, the president can deploy troops to Benin Republic. And Nigerians have been talking. You have powers to be doing all of this. What are you doing at home? Take care of the one at home first. We will talk about this. And because the matter almost turned to Rofo fighting at the Senate yesterday, Seriaki Dixon and Godswill Akpabio, the president of the Senate, almost spat at each other. You get to hear these and much more. So welcome to the show. And you know how we do it every time. Yeah, first thing, let's take you through political stories here and there. We are talking about political stories making the rounds right now. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, as expected, has emerged as the governorship candidate of the Accord Party, of the Accord Party for next year's governorship election. The declaration took place at the Osun State Accord Party governorship primary a while ago in Osogbo. The Osun State Party chairman, Pastor Victor Akonde, also revealed that Governor Adeleke is the party's sole candidate, adding that about 150 delegates will partake in the primary. From Osun to Nasarawa State, where the State Assembly has suspended the chairman of Lapia Local Government Council, Mohammed Haliru Arabo. Why are they suspending him? They say they're suspending him for a period of 3 months following his alleged role in the impeachment crisis rocking the council's legislative arm. That is his offense. The decision was announced by Speaker Danladi Jetau after a motion of public importance was moved by Musa Ibrahim Abubakar, chairman of the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, during plenary in Lafia. Jato said suspension was occasional and necessary to enable a neutral and thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the impeachment of the Speaker of the House, talking about the Legislative Council in Lafia. Now, the matter of Fubara defection is still in the open. Everyone is talking about it. So we'll also react to it on the show today. But let's talk about what the ADC is saying because the chairman of the African Democratic Congress in Rivers State, Leader Samson is his name, and he has criticized Governor Siminalayi Fubara for defecting to the APC without first consulting Rivers people. Of course, you remember that yesterday, Governor Siminalayi Fubara opened it to the entire world that he will be joining the APC during a stakeholders meeting at the government house. Fubara explained that his decision to defect was taken in the interest of Rivers people, adding that he had received the approval of President Bola Tinubu. Now, reacting to the development, Samson said it was not enough for the governor to meet with a few supporters and claimed to have consulted the people of the state before leaving the People's Democratic Party to the APC. The ADC chairman said the move was largely expected, but argues that no serious Rivers person will take Governor Siminalayi Fubara seriously anymore, describing him as inconsistent and indecisive. That is a statement coming through from the ADC in Rivers State. Still talking about Fubara and his defection. Elder statesmen in the Rivers State, the majority of them have been talking and saying, look, what Fubara has done is not surprising, but the way and manner he did it is what is making people to be like, what is going on with this man? Anyway, we'll talk about that in a jiffy as well as the one concerning the accord, the movement to accord by the man, Governor Ademola Adeleke Jackson. At least 7 Osun State governorship aspirants under the platform of the APC have stepped down after meeting with President Bola Tinubu a while ago in Abuja. They have all agreed to support Bola Oyebanji as the consensus governorship candidate in the forthcoming primary. The meeting called by President Tinubu at the presidential villa was boycotted by one of the aspirants, talking about Iyola Omishore. Is the only one now that seems to be doing gridai. Okay, Omishore had earlier described his disqualification from the primary as a joke. And the aspirant who stepped down include the former deputy governor of the state, Bennett Olugbega Alabi, Dotun Babayemi Akin Ogunbiyi, Senator Babajide Omoworare, Kunle Adegoke, Babatunde Hakim, Oralusi, as well as Mulikat Abiola Jimo. They've all stepped down now and to work for the man. That is the one that everyone is talking about the one that Bola Tinubu seems to be supporting. I'm talking about Bola Oyebanji. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's leave it there for some of the things happening about this time concerning news update. So those were your news update at this time politically. Right, let's get into it right now. Let's get into it. And let's talk about defection of Siminalayi Fubara. Everyone has been talking about it. But one man that has also said something concerning this one is elder statesman. Talking about Bernard Miko. Bernard Miko, elder statesman, has decided to defend Governor Siminalayi Fubara's decision to leave the PDP to the APC, describing the move as necessary for self-preservation, political protection, and the overall welfare of the state. He said what Fubara did, anybody that loves Fubara will not condemn him for doing it, because the PDP never protected Fubara. All this why they left him exposed, and anything could have happened to him. That is why the man had to do what he had to do, and that's why he defected to the APC. This is Bernard Miko.
This move by Fubara yesterday or the day before wouldn't come to any Nigerian as a surprise, because the major objective of a political party is to win election. And our laws have provided that you must have a solid platform to win an election, more so as an opposition. So you know that the PDP as it is today is not as strong even as a banana leaf or a plantain leaf, because the party became so weak immediately after the going towards the tenure of the end of the tenure of President Jonathan. And the stakeholders, governors, during that 2014 convention, five of them walked out of the convention and formed the MPDP, which you are very aware of. Since then, all the moves they have been doing, I worked then as a special advisor to the Dr. Bamanga Tuku on policy monitoring, policy evaluation and monitoring to Dr. Bama. And I saw all what was happening. The party members acted brazenly with impunity. The party the party emblem became a franchise, for trading and all sorts of things. So we are not surprised if Fubara has left the party today. He's looking for a stronger platform. He wasn't protected by the platform that brought him to power. I contested the 2015 governorship election, and I saw what happened. The leader of the party after Jonathan left of the state, or during this time, was the first lady then, was de facto leader of the party in the state. So you can see how the party became fractionalized. They sold themselves against themselves, and that is why we have found ourselves today. I think it's right. Rivers people are happy that Fubara has found, he has negotiated his way into a stronger platform that can give him the kind of protection which Rivers people needs. It's not about him. We have had experiences of fighting from opposition right from the time of 1887. Time of King George of Opobo, how he was deposed. So we don't want to play much of opposition politics. We want to be part of the secondary, where decisions affecting our state will be made. And that is why he has taken the step he has taken today.
Okay.
Well, now we are focused on having a platform that will protect him. You know that the party did not, the former DC did not protect him because the party was weak. As today, Fubara has the organic support from the people. What you had in Rivers State during all these tempests was a kind of movement to support our state, to achieve what we want to achieve. I think Fubara's main, the main concern of Rivers State now is to implement the budgets that have been passed. You know that there was an interim for 6 months. The Rivers people, as you can see, that came out, they were supporting the state. They supported him as an individual because he had the organic support. They were not against him or against any political party. As you can see today, but the PDP is very weak, and they should blame themselves for what has happened to them. You saw how they didn't take disciplinary measures against those who were doing anti-party, and they were dining with them. So what do you expect him to do? Look at the entire South. Every other governor has gone to AP because they are not sure. You don't know what the court will decide, in case he remains there. So I think the best thing for him is to go. He is not acting alone. He's been consulting with Rivers People, and most of all, we have told him that, look, as we have the ship of state have run into tempest, please take us to where we can be safe so that we can deliver the dividends of democracy and develop our state.
Well, that is elder statesman, Dr. Bernard Miko, talking about the move by Fubara, saying that nobody, no right-thinking person should blame Rivers, Governor Siminalayi Fubara for moving because they would have done similar thing. The man is exposed. He doesn't even know what to do next because how it is right now is not good. The system is not good and is not in his favor. So he has to move, and he did the movement. Now, talking about the movement, One man that has also reacted after the movement is Nyesom Wike. Wike has been mocking those left in the PDP, especially Bala Mohammed and Sheyi Makinde. In fact, he's been calling Sheyi Makinde some names. He said, Sheyi Makinde, who are you? I mean, you were in SDP. We brought you to the PDP, and you want to come and be showing power. You are nobody. That's what Nyesom Wike is saying about Sheyi Makinde. And he's been talking about Bala Mohammed as well, that look, these guys don't even know what they are doing. Everyone is leaving you. In the entire South now, you don't have more than, just one. In the entire South, you have just two governors in the entire South. Southwest, only one. Southeast, all now APC. South, all now APC. Because the remaining one in the southeast is more or less like APC in PDP clothing, except for the one that belongs to Labour Party in Abia State. So if you put them together, three of them, Oyo, Enugu, who everybody is saying this one, we shouldn't. I say Enugu how? Enugu is already APC. Oyo and Abia, Abia I wanted to mention. So they are saying, look, all of the people here don't know what they are doing. So that's why Wike is dancing now. Dancing and looking at them that they don't know what they are doing. He's making fun of them. Nyesom Wike. And he said a whole lot of things concerning the people who left there, especially Sheyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed. This is what he said.
And you are happy to do like this. Do like this.
Calling talks to talk.
And then you be signaling talks. Tell them to come. That is the kind of governorship with It's unfortunate. But forgive them. I think that they don't know what they are doing. They have written petition against how many judges? Even judges that have not handled the matter of PDP one day. They will write petition. We are aware of their style, of their strategy to blackmail the judiciary. Luckily for us, when the NDI held conference of judges of Superior Court, the Chief Justice of Nigeria said, look, no amount of blackmail will make them to do what they are not supposed to do. That it is a farce and law that is what they are going to do. If you have any problem, bring your facts and let the law back you up. It's not sentiment. It's not emotion. It's not by you saying, Supreme Court said, it's the internal affairs of the party. Fine. Allow the court to say this is what Supreme Court said. It's not you. It's not you to say so. That's the propaganda. That's the blackmail. Anyway, you see them. Supreme Court said it's the internal affairs of the party. There's no story. Okay, Supreme Court said so. Let the court read it and say this is what Supreme Court said. And let them come up. This is the decision of Supreme Court. We cannot do this or we can do this. People are going to judge. No more job, nothing. Every day, you will see old man. Supreme Court said, ask whether he had read any Supreme Court judgment one day. Ask him whether he had read any court judgment. Even the judgment that the Supreme Court freed him, whether he has read it. Ask whether even the judgment that he was free by the Supreme Court, whether has he read the judgment one day. He has not. So he does not even know. So, just to let you know that we are all on the same page. And we must not allow our party to die. From 1998, when this party was formed, I was there all too.
Yes.
I've never left. Barack Mohammed was a senator under APP.
Yes.
He came to be a minister because of touching on necessity.
That's correct.
And that's how I joined the PDP.
That's correct.
Sheyi Makinde, my younger brother, he was in NCP. I know when he came to lobby, among those who brought him to me, a bullycat, and the former deputy governor, who is here, and one army lawyer, that I remember.
Senator.
He was SDP, he didn't make it before we arrived. How can those who met me in my house people who met me in my house do not drive me out? I will never allow that.
You heard him speak there. Just a week there. You met me in my house, you can't chase me out. And he called their names, Sheyi Makinde, Bala Mohammed. Sheyi Makinde belonged to the PSDP, and he now came to the APC. I mean, he said it there, Mulika Atakonde. Adeola was the one that brought Sheyi to him, to the PDP. In fact, he even said, Sheyi Makinde, my younger brother. Now, who is the younger, Sheyi or Wike? Okay. So when will the PDP, well, all of these shenanigans, all of these problems of the PDP, when will it end? And that's the question now everyone has been asking. We don't have the answer yet. Every time, PDP and problems. They are becoming like Siamese twins, PDP and problems. Well, they are the same P. PDP problem. PDP problem. Ordinarily, when you shout PDP, it used to be power to the people or PDP progress. But right now, it's PDP problem. Okay. I wasn't the one that said so. It's what people are saying. Now, talking about the PDP and the election that happened in Oyo State, you know, some people have been, the convention that brought Turaki, Tanimu Turaki, as the chairman of the party, national chairman of the party. Some people have said, you are just sitting there. You do not belong to that seat, and we will take you out very soon. Yeah, one of those people is Sule Lamido, who has said he will go to the court to challenge all of these shenanigans that he called that brought in Turaki in Ibadan. That he would definitely make sure that Turaki doesn't stay there. So let me bring on Tanimu Turaki now, who is presently the chairman of the party, elected in Ibadan Convention, saying all those who are still aggrieved are just doing all of these things out of unfairness. They are not being fair, because if they want to be fair to themselves and they want to be fair to Nigerians and they want to speak the truth, they know that he won the election.
It's important for us to understand that PDP over the years has always maintained a pattern of leadership selection. For instance, the National Executive Committee of the party set up a national zoning committee. And that national zoning committee zoned the presidential ticket to the southern part of this country, and then zoned the national chairmanship ticket to the northern part of this country, which meant that the status quo, as far as the party office is concerned, was allowed to remain the way it is. Now, the Northern Caucus met. And when the Northern Caucus met, after a lot of argument and persuasive argument for that matter, it was agreed unanimously that the national chairmanship of the party should be microzoned to the northwestern zone of the country. Now, however, it was stated quite emphatically that because of the significance of the office of the national chairman, it is not only the leaders from Northwest that will be allowed to sit down and decide who will be the candidate for that position. And that was how it has always been. I can recall about 4 years ago when Dr. Yoshia Ayu was elected, it was the Northern Caucus that sat down and then microzoned to the North Central. However, all leaders from the three zones in the North sat down in the governor's lodge and then agreed that Yosha Ayu should be the candidate. So the process that led to my selection as a consensus candidate is not something that is unique, it's not something that is unprecedented. However, in politics, we must understand that people will always have their own interest. People will always have their say. But in a democracy, the majority will always have their way. How many people expressed a desire from the Northwest Zone to contest for the office of the national chairmanship of the party? We were 4. Myself, Governor Ahmed Makarfi of Kaduna State, who later withdrew, Governor Ibrahim Shekaro, who later also accepted the verdict of the leaders of the North when they sat down and then produced me as a consensus candidate. And of course, my elder brother, Alhaji Sule Lamido. But at the consensus, it was agreed that notwithstanding the decision of the leaders of the North, any other person who was dissatisfied or who was still insistent on wanting to contest was free to do so. But if you want to contest, then you must contest within the parameters set by the party. In other words, you must go and buy form within the time stipulated by the National Executive Committee of the party. Number 2, you must fill that form and submit it within the window allowed by the program of the party. Number 3, you must subject yourself to screening exercise, and so on and so forth. So, if anybody wished to contest and he was unable to meet up with the criteria that was advertised and agreed upon at the National Executive Committee level of the party, then they're on their own. I was selected by the Northern Caucus. I presented myself as a candidate. I was screened. I attended the convention, which was lawfully convened in Ibadan, and I was elected. But people have their views, regardless.
Yeah, he's still talking. He's not done because he's talking about, he's addressing all of the things that they've said about whether the convention in Ibadan was right or wrong. And of course, he has a whole lot of things to say concerning this. And again, one of the things he's reacting to is the issue that happened at the Wadata Plaza just a few days after the convention in Ibadan, when they went to the Wadata Plaza and the clash with the Wiki-led faction, and there were skirmishes and Wahala and Bruaha that happened there at the headquarters of the PDP. So he has this to say concerning that. He's addressing that matter, and this is what he said concerning what happened there, what transpired between the two factions of the PDP at the Wadata Plaza.
If you look at what happened that day, well, after I was swearing in Ibadan, we now gave notice to say that we are going to have our inaugural meeting on Tuesday. Now, when we came back, we were making arrangements to have the inaugural NWC meeting on Tuesday. And information got to us that our friends who had been expelled at the National Convention in Ibadan were also planning to invade our office and have a meeting. I, in company of other members of NWC, went to meet the FCT Commissioner of Police, and we told him that this is what was happening. And we do not want any event to happen that will disrupt the public peace. And the CP assured me that he was going to take preemptive steps to ensure that our meeting was not disrupted and that there was no breach of law and order. And so, armed with that confidence and assurance that was given to us, we had already extended invitation right from the convention grant to our members and leaders to arrive. Unfortunately, when we went there, we discovered that our friends who were no longer members of our party had get entry into the party, and the police were now protecting them. And they now came in company of armed thugs. And we felt that this was not necessary. So we spoke to the superior police officer who was there. We said, look, we've given notice to the police in writing. And yesterday I had an interface with the commissioner of police. What is happening? They said, okay, we should allow them to hold meeting that day, and then we should come back. I said, we don't have meeting they are going to hold meeting wherever they want to hold their meetings. In any case, they've always been meeting in the official residence of the Minister of the FCT. Let them go and hold their meeting there because they are not members of our party. But we are not going to allow them to move into our facilities and then hold meetings there because they are no longer members of our party. And so we attempted to move into our office and then have our meeting. And then Of course, the members of public saw what happened. We were tear gas, over 100 canisters of tear gas were fired at us, including 2 serving governors who have immunity. But did we react? We didn't. We persisted. We insisted that we had a right to walk into our office and then carry out our legitimate business. At the end of the day, the FCT minister was so mourned by those people. He came with more than 200 policemen and again further army of armed thugs. And then he wanted to go inside. When the police initially said we cannot drive our vehicles, including those of the governors, into the premises of our party, we said, okay, we'll park outside and then walk inside. But then, when the FCT minister came, the police said he will now drive his car inside. We said, if you do that, then at least my vehicle and that of those governors that were there must go in. And we drove our vehicles in. Now, what happened was we were attacked. They were trying to beat us. Of course, we resisted. We have the right to defend ourselves as individuals. We have the right to defend our properties as party leaders. So what we did that day was to call on international community, because we feel that the situation was such that the APC-led federal government is trying to truncate democracy in Nigeria. Look at what is happening to Labour Party. Look at what is happening to SDP. Look at what is happening to ADC. Look at what they are now trying to do to PDP. And so we feel that America as a country should have more than a passing interest in democratic practice anywhere in the world, especially where a country says we are practicing presidential democracy. And that is what we are practicing, we are copying from them. So we are only asking them. And my call was not restricted to Trump and United States of America. I also extended the call to all civilized nations, all advanced democracies, to come to our aid. Because Nigeria is such that you cannot force a one-party system on us. That is the reality on the ground. That is what we said. And everybody who saw what happened that day saw that we were victims.
Yeah, they were victims according to him on that day. They were victims. So anybody who saw what happened saw that they were victims. He was addressing why, after the shenanigans that happened on that day, he had to call the American government to come save Nigeria's democracy. Because, you know, that was the period that Donald Trump was also threatening to come and save us from banditry and insurgency and terrorism. So that was the same time that Turaki, PDP chairman, also called on American president to come and save our democracy. So that was what he was trying to say there, reacting there. Now, before we let him go this evening on Politics of Melody, Yetamino Turaki also told us, for those who believe that Sule Lamido, who has threatened to challenge his chairmanship in court, who believe that Tanimu Turaki might not last on the seat, this is what he has to say concerning this matter. And he says, well, let's wait and see. You will definitely get to see.
That is my elder brother, Sule Lamido. In the Northwest, we have a pattern when it comes to sharing NWC positions. We have 3 groupings in Northwest Zone. We have Kano and Jigawa as a group. We have Kaduna and Katsina as another group. And then we have Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara as the 3rd group. Now, usually every zone has 3 National Working Committee positions. Now, 2 NWC in addition to the position of the zonal vice chairman. Now, before this time, the election of the Northwest ESCO was done. And Jigawa, under Ambassador was held onto the position of the National Vice Chairman, representing Jigawa and Kano. And that position now shifted from Jigawa to go to Kano. And it's now been held by Senator Bello Hayatu Gorzo. So, as far as Kano and Jigawa are concerned, they have now gotten their own position. So, the 2 other positions that will come will now be for Kaduna and Katsina, and Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara respectively. And the 2 positions that were now microzoned to us were the position of the national chairman and the position of the national legal advisor. So it was now agreed that since Kaduna had just finished office of the national youth leader, so any other position that will come for Kaduna and Kaduna will now go to Katsina. And that was why the position of National Legal Advisor now went to Katsina. Now, Umaru Bature had just finished office as the National Organizing Secretary. So any other position that will come to that other group also will now belong to Zamfara and Kebbi. So our argument, and I had cause to discuss with my elder brother Sule Lamido, I say if you are insisting you want to be chairman, now it means then that Kano is now holding the position of zonal vice chairman, which is being held by Senator Bello Hayatu Gorzo. And if you now insist and you become the national chairman from Jigawa again, it means then that either Kaduna and Katsina or Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara will not have a representation in the National Working Committee. I told him this is a matter of fairness, equity and justice. And he said yes, he agreed with me. But as far as he's concerned, that the issue of fairness, equity and justice will be overridden by the issue of competence and capacity. And so I said, are you now telling me that I'm not competent or I do not have the capacity? He had no answer for that. So the reality on the ground, zoning had been done. So Jigawa and Kano, they have their own. Katsina and Kaduna, they have their own. Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara have their own, which is the position I'm holding now as the national chairman. Now, it is wrong for anybody to say that PDP is factionalized. There's no faction in PDP. Now, we had problems like any other political party. And since when we lost election in 2015, anything that any political party could go through, we've gone through as a PDP, as a party. We've learned our lessons. But we are now making efforts to now put all those things behind us while learning a lot of lessons from those experiences that we've had.
So you heard everything from Tani Muturaki, who is the man that is heading the PDP now in terms of chairmanship. He's the chairman of the PDP now, and he has told everything that you should hear. So if you're still thinking that he is there unlawfully, maybe you need to have a rethink. It is still Politics on Melody, 100.7 FM in the city of IB. Well, let's have a breather. When we return at the other side, yes, we talk about what is happening. People have been talking about the issue that happened at Ile-Ife between Governor Adeleke and, of course, the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. I'm not dwelling on that issue, but I think it's just a drama. It's just a drama. You know, I've told you that Nigeria is like Hollywood or Nollywood. Somebody writes the script every time. God have mercy. Let's have his breather and I'll be back at the other side. This is Oriz Wiliki. What is what that?
No food, no shelter. Hey.
this or that, things going on with our political system in Nigeria. Bribery, nepotism, killing, terrorism, everything now joined all the terrible things happening in our land. When will all of these things leave us alone? We are fighting terrorism at home. We've not been able to even defeat them, but we are helping others to regain their government in Benin Republic. That is what is happening, and that is what people are asking the question, why can we not let charity begin at home? That's the question many people are asking. Ordinarily, charity is supposed to begin from home now, but what is wrong with our own system? Our charity is beginning from Benin Republic. What a country. Okay, all right. Before I begin to wrap up the show, let me let you know that what we are doing right now in Benin Republic is not the first time. Yes, I want to take you back memory lane. Yes, for students of history to learn something. There is not the first time Nigeria is actually doing what they are doing in Benin Republic. In fact, let me tell you that this is the third time, the third time the Nigerian military will be deployed to broader African nations to foil a coup. In the year 1964, Tanganyika, yes, some people might not know which one is Tanganyika. Tanganyika is the original name of Tanzania. You know, Tanzania is a country of two people, Tanganyika and Zanzibar. They were facing a serious mutiny at that time. Now, their army, known as the Tanganyika Rifles, forced widespread elections to join. They faced widespread elections to join Kello's revolution in Zanzibar, culminating in mutinies against the elected government of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Remember Julius Nyerere, right? Who went into hiding at that time. A desperate President Nyerere reached out to Nigeria under Tafawa Balewa Tafawa Balewa as the Prime Minister then. Now, Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa then sent the 3rd Battalion of the Nigerian Army under Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Palm to Tanzania, where they arrived sometime in April 1964. Of course, this prompted President Nyerere to come out of hiding and, of course, assert himself. Under Lieutenant Colonel Palm's leadership, the country was secured. Mutineers who evaded arrest were traced and apprehended, and the Tanganyika Army, known as the Tanganyika Rifles, was disbanded that time. The Nigerian forces under Lieutenant Colonel Palm provided the military muscle that led to the union of Tanganyika and Zanzibar, which led to the creation of a new country, which is now called Tanzania, on Sunday, April 26, 1964. Now, when Major Pereira overthrew the government of President Frederick de Menezes of Sao Tome and Principe in a coup in 2003, the then President Obasanjo, Olusegun Aremu, did not sit down and watch what was happening. He quickly swung into action then. What did he do? President Olusegun Obasanjo used a carrot and stick approach. He called the coup leaders and threatened them. He followed up his threats by having Nigerian Armed Forces jet fly over the Sao Tome and Principe Presidential Palace in a show of force. And before you could say Jack, like magic, after a week, Major Fernando Pereira vacated power. No, they fear Niger. So President Obasanjo then later fly by himself to Libreville to pick up President de Menezes and return him to the capital of Sao Tome and Principe. Of course, perhaps Nigeria's most remarkable feat in protecting democracy in Africa is what it did in the Republic of Benin just last weekend. Why I'm bringing you back this memory lane is for you to know that the Nigerian army has always been strong. I'm a product of the army. and I know how strong Nigerian army has been. We were part of Yugoslavia when they were having issues in the early 90s. We've been part of Liberia, Sierra Leone. Mention the countries. We are very strong. So what is the issue? Well, we can't deal with our own problems of banditry, terrorism, kidnapping. Remember all of the interviews I had last week? Some of them said governments are the ones involved in all of this. So will government continue to look and let people be suffering like this? That is the question that remains unanswered. I'll rest my case. I have asked the question again this beautiful evening. Thank you for being part of the show today. It is Politics on Melody and Melody 100.7 FM. We'll be back. We'll continue to ask all of these important questions. If we can go to different countries of the world and make a big mark, help them restore democracy, help them solve their problem, then why can't we solve our own problem in our land that is tearing us apart? That is the big question this beautiful evening. And I'm leaving with that question. Thank you for being here. I'll be back in a few hours. That's about, not a few hours, about 1 hour, 5 minutes on today's The Cruise Show. My name is Pretty. On behalf of the guys that are taking care of the streaming there, Timothy, Dasola, Ife, and of course, all of the other guys making things happen there. To Moses, and of course, as well as Daniel Adiemi too, making things happen. Not forgetting Samuel too, giving all of the support in the streaming. My name is Pretty, the finest, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Good evening and thank you for being there. Coming up next is Koto Daakpon. Good evening to you.